What's up, squad? It's Phantoms. I'm bringing you a GOAT format deck profile today. Just something to spice up your GOAT format matches. Something a little fun to play. You get to use a lot of cool cards. I like showing GOAT format profiles that let you use cards that aren't just in standard or in chaos or stuff. So this deck's based around Strike Ninja. If you're unaware, it says you can banish 2 dark monsters from your graveyard to remove himself from the field, or to remove him from play. So you can dodge stuff like Ring of Destruction, Book of Moon, Mirror Force, that kind of stuff, just by banishing 2 monsters. Then he comes back in the end phase. So this lets you kind of fill up your banish zone so that you can flip Return from the Different Dimension and kind of just go for one big game push. It also just lets you dodge cards. It lets you get more advantage that way. So let's check out this profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff for more GOAT format deck profiles, as well as just modern stuff and discussion. So all right, let's get into it. There's going to be no extra decks. We're not playing Metamorphosis, but obviously it's GOAT format. Play whatever extra deck you want. So we'll get into the main. We're just going to be playing 2 Strike Ninja. I think any more than 2 is kind of bricky. Plus we're playing Reinforcement of the Army, which you'll see. So we don't really have a problem getting access to this, and we only really need access to 1 because it sticks to the board because of its removal effect. So yeah, just the 2 Strike Ninjas. And then on to the next, we're going to be playing 3 Dekoichi. This is your kind of way to turbo through the deck. It's a way to just get to more dark monsters, put some more dark stuff in grave, and kind of similar to the next 3 is 3 Gravekeeper's Spy. We're playing that as well, again, to fill up your graveyard with darks, to get them out of the deck into your grave so you can banish them as Strike Ninja, and kind of just turbo through. Another thing too as well, this is a Return from the Different Dimension deck, which I'll be showing you. So if either of these get Noblemen of Crossout, you get to banish 3 from your deck, and you already have a banish zone that's ready for you to flip Return. So just kind of think about that. Another awesome play, kind of rare, is that you can Nobleman your own monsters. Like you can set Dekoichi Nobleman, and then you can summon 3 back with Return if you have that set up. So that's kind of a niche scenario, but it's just something you can consider. And the 4th Gravekeeper monster I'm playing in this deck is Spear Soldier. Usually you play Guard, which is like the bounce effect, but this one's a Piercer for 1500, and I kind of just want the extra pressure. We already have enough kind of removal and setup where I don't really think Guard is necessary, so we're going to play the 1 Spear Soldier instead. The next card we're playing is going to be 2 Night Assailant, and Night Assailant is kind of your discard fodder for the deck, and also if you get Delinquent Duo, you discard Night Assailant to add back your flip monsters. As you can see, we're playing a whole set of flip monsters, so you know, Dekoichi, Spy, and the 2 Assailants. So yeah, it lets you keep advantage. You can use it as discard fodder, and it's also a way to just out problem cards like Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's got the flip and destroy effect. I think Night Assailant is incredible in the format, so I love decks where I can take advantage of that. The next 2 we're playing is going to be 2 Mystic Tomato. Kind of the same idea. We need to fuel our dark monsters in grave, so we're going to play 2 Tomato to float into stuff. We can float into Sengen, we can float into Spear Soldier, or kind of whatever we need. So yeah, Tomatoes, it's kind of a toolboxy deck, so Tomato's going to be good for that. Alright, now on to the 1-ofs. We're playing 1 Don Zalug. That's another Tomato target, and this one lets you discard a card out of your opponent's hand when he does battle damage. And that includes if you set him in defense mode. He's got 1500 defense. If they attack into it with something less, they take damage and lose a card out of hand. So don't forget about that. And it's just another kind of like decently beefy monster to banish and bring back off of Return. And then it ensures when you flip Return, you get a little bit of extra advantage just by clearing some cards out of your opponent's hand. You can play Spirit Reaper, which is another dark, which does kind of a similar thing as Don Zalug, but I kind of like Don because it's bigger. You can search it off of Rhoda, and yeah, I don't really see a reason not to play it. Next, we're going to be playing kind of the staples, where you got 1 Breaker, 1 Sengen. They're both darks, so why not play them in this deck? And then we're playing DD Warrior Lady and DD Assailant. This is both for removal and because when they get banished, we can bring them back off of return, and they're really good size monsters. They got 1500 and 1700 attack, so it lets us push for game when we do flip return. And then the last three monsters we're playing are going to be our tribute monsters. So first we have Dark Magician of Chaos. We pretty much want to get this out of our hand and into the grave as soon as possible so that we can revive it with Call of the Haunted, with Premature Burial, or with Return. And then that gets us a lot of advantage because we get to add a spell back, probably, you know, Pot of Greed, Graceful, something like that. Next one we have is Jinzo. This one, if we can summon it back with Return, it really helps our push because now they can't Mirror Force, now they can't Saku, and we can probably swing for game if we're bringing out Jinzo plus a whole big set of bodies. And then the last one I'm playing is Vampire Lord. I kind of like this. We always have tribute fodder kind of available. Usually Spy sticks really well. We have Tomato that floats. We have Strike Ninja that floats. So we always have tribute fodder. So I think playing 3 tribute monsters is okay. It's not too infrequently that you can tribute summon Demok. Because if they attack into Spy, you summon, you know, another Spy or a Spear Soldier, and then you have 2 tributes right there for your turn. So Demok isn't always dead in hand, but it's definitely good because it works well with the rest of the package we're playing. Okay, so that's, I think, 21 monsters. This deck, the profile I'm showing you, has 41, unfortunately, so feel free to cut something that you don't like, but I kind of like playing all of these cards, so that's what we're going to be sticking with for now. Okay, so that was the monsters. Now onto the spells, and it's going to be pretty staple. We have our Trinity, Pot of Greed, Charity, and Duo. Nothing really to say about that. And then we have the other 4 staples. We're playing all 4 of them: MST, Heavy Storm, Snatch Steal, and Premature Burial. No reason not to play these. We want to preem the tribute monsters that we're discarding or summoning, bringing those back because they float really well or they stick really well. Yeah, and pretty much whatever else. And then the 2 Noblemen of Crossout, as is pretty standard. No reason not to play those in this deck. We're playing 1 Reinforcement of the Army to search. If we need the removal, we can search the DD monsters, and then if we want to fuel our engine, we just search Strike Ninja, which is 1700 body, which is nice because it gets overall the classic 1600 bodies in the format. And then the last spell I'm playing actually is Lightning Vortex, and you don't usually see this in many lists, but we do need ways to get some of the bigger monsters out of our hand, and we also want to clear goats for when we want to make our push, and Lightning Vortex does both at the same time, so we can use it, ditch Dark Magician of Chaos, banish it with Strike Ninja, and then flip return, and that's pretty much game. It also lets us abuse Night Assailant a little bit more for extra advantage. I think it's just generally good, and it's kind of clears the issue if your opponent has something kind of large on board, like Jinzo, like Air Knight, Parshoth, or something. If you flip return and you don't have anything big enough banished to get over those, it's kind of, you know, a waste of a return. So I think Vortex solves a lot of problems this deck has, and I think it's worth playing. Alright, those are the spells. Onto the traps. We're playing the 4 classics: TT, Ring, Call, and Mirror Force. No reason not to play these. It's just going to be good. We need the removal in this deck. We just need to kind of grind out to set up our graveyard, to set up our banish pile, so that we can eventually flip return. We're playing 2 Sakuretsu Armor. This is pretty much to get rid of Thousand Eyes, because Thousand Eyes is a problem. And then whatever else is an issue for us. We're playing 1 Raigeki Break. Kind of the same theory as Lightning Vortex. It kind of lets us get something out of our hand so that we can banish it, or we can bring it back with one of the revival cards, and then it also lets us abuse Night Assailant a little bit. And then we're just going to be playing 2 returns. I think any more than 2 is a little bricky. You don't really fuel your graveyard that fast, so you want to just have 2 just to eventually get into one, but you don't want to be opening it like turn 1. You want to draw into it later. So I think 2 is a good number for that. So that's 20 total combined spells and traps to round out the 41 card list. Let me know what you guys think about this list. I have a ton of fun playing it, and I'm always open to trying new cards in it. There's a lot of other dark monsters that I like to play, kind of like Kaiku is a good one, and then there's a few tribute summon ones. There's like the Mephist, the Infernal General or something. It's like the dark version of Air Knight Parchoth. You could consider playing that instead of Vampire Lord. You could play like Ryu Koki. You can play Fiend Mega Cyber. There's so many cool options that you can just chuck in if you have an extra slot and go ahead. Another thing you can consider is playing Creature Swap. I kind of wanted to fit that in because a lot of your monsters are kind of small attacks. So if you can Creature Swap over a Gravekeeper Spy after you've used one, that's a pretty good situation. Or you can Creature Swap over Mystic Tomato, of course. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this list. I hope you guys have fun. Let me know what other GOAT lists you'd like to see. I play a ton of GOAT lists, so I'll eventually put out videos for all of them, but let me know if you want to see anything soon. And then if not, or if so, either way, we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks.